Well, hello guys. What's going on? Uh, it's about 10:56, close to 11 o'clock in the morning. It's July 24th, 2025. The zombie Weaver Jancy was Rosemont, California. Just woke up and trying to stay the hell away from the damn political, but unfortunately, politics has a way of ruining us. Case in point, do I dare mention it for the World Wrestling Federation and wrestling fans all over that Terry Gene Bollea, otherwise known as the Hulk Hogan, movie, television, but mostly wrestling fame, passes away from a heart attack at the age of 71 out in Clearwater, Florida this morning. Somebody called 911 on the guy, rushed him over to the hospital, and pronounced him. So, but here's the thing. Uh, while some of the media, or print media, can try to extend condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans, I don't feel anything. Once he turned over to the dark side of politics, where he supported Trump just to get his own street creds going, I'm sorry, I lost respect for the guy. And because of that, I thought he was a good guy, an actor on the stage, and the stage of being the four ring, the square ring. I watched him in the 80s and 90s, trying to show off his body and trying to show off his pythons. Earlier on, he was also on Rocky 2 or Rocky 3. They had Rocky 3. They actually had Mr. T on her. And they were trying to do a publicity. Number 2 was basically Carl Weathers. God rest his soul. Uh, that was a hell of an actor, too. Liked him. Stallone back then I liked. But as these guys got older, they gravitated more of what Trump was spewing up, and they got contaminated in my head. So I don't watch the shows of Stallone anymore. I used to have respect for the guy. I'm not quite so sure anymore. But I like the old shows that he was on, and shows that Mr. Hogan was on. He did a sitcom. Didn't he did barely a season of an action drama or action comedy or whatever the hell it was out in Florida. Rolling Thunder or something like that. Or Thunder on the Rocks or Thunder on the Wave or something about thunder. A speedboat and being mercenaries. But yeah, I remember watching him and Mr. T. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. T at one time was a bouncer. Got discovered, turned to acting on the A team for a few years, and then other things happened, I guess, for him. And here I see these guys on a Rocky movie. Hogan was playing a wrestler doing a charity for Stallone. He wanted to make it real. And Mr. T played a character. He just wanted to beat up people. Their reputation kind of stuck with this guy for all his life, apparently. But now those are the only major things I saw these guys on that I probably liked a long time ago. But these days, not so sure. If they fell in love and fell in league with their Trumplicans, then I guess I've lost that respect and love for these guys. Hogan tried his best in the television, film, and still back in the wrestling ring. I guess it all caught up with his body and his brain. I'll give him credit for the kind of career he's trying to lead. He had difficulties, financial difficulties, family issues. I've heard stories, rumors. social media and also on main media about him. So they're going to find out whether or not well, they'll probably do an autopsy of it, whether or not it was truly a heart attack. I'll see what happens. But there's another gentleman that actually means a lot to me right now, and he's still going through the curse of a body breaking down, and it's upsetting him and upsetting everybody else. You see, there's a friend of mine out there I never met, and I wish to God I had. He carried me through the COVID. His laughter and his humor and his upbeat mannerisms and behavior, his energy level. And right now he's waning a bit because he's asking the universe why is this doing it to him. Don Terris. He's sharing his stories of his health and of cruising news to the people who care about him a great deal. Yeah, that would be She Who Must Be Obeyed, my dog. She Who Must Be Obeyed wants attention. My caregiving duties are still here because I'm still dealing with a dog. And she still doesn't want me to leave her side. And quite frankly, I got stuck here anyway, so. But Terris, Don, he worries me because of his health. They get one portion of his body to get another portion of his body soon. I don't know if he's going to have anything left. He still wants to get around. He still wants to be active about it. And the thing is, I'm looking at his mortality compared to my dog's mortality to compare everyone else's mortality, including mine. Because I'm hearing some of my own friends dealing and struggling with their own and trying to make peace with it or just struggling for survival. And me, I'm not trying to focus more on my own survival or living. I'm just trying to see if my dog is going to be living another day, to enjoy another day of life of whining at me all the time because she wants my attention. And she also wants to run around. And she'll try to trot. But for the most part, she feels comfortable in a bedroom. Things and people. So I'm hearing all these politicians mouthing off about this, mouthing off about that, and the independents are having a field day over shit. Not to mention the corporate media not saying things that the independents are they want to hear more stuff, but not the kind of crap coming out of people's mouths. And I know one or two are getting hot-headed at this point, especially out of state where they call him the Lone Star. And he's pissed off at the media. That matters. Probably independents and mostly at the corporate. Now, they're not mentioning the shit he wants them to say. And he's got to realize these corporate guys are trying to balance because their license and their lines are on the line because of Federal Communication Commission, which is under the auspices of the garbage bag we've got elected into office back in November 2024. And now we're paying the price on it. Yeah, so I throw her right back in her face saying, this is what you voted in. There's other people who said, we don't want this guy in because of the shit happening. Well, guess what? It's happening. Now what do you do about it? Whine? Or do something else? Trump has been mouthing off on Truth Social. I can't even log into that shit. But apparently it's the other people that can pay the subscriptions for that crap and make themselves known and just make their Trump's message known out there that he wants things to happen his way, including taking down late night comedy because they're always attacking Trump. Trump has this massive ego, very delicate, massive ego. It's like dealing with a thin-skin atmospheric balloon. One good pop or one little pinprick and boom, might explode on people. Be kind of messy, wouldn't it? Brains scattered all over the damn place because his ego blew out his brains. If his skull wasn't that thick-headed, maybe the brain would have exploded. It's a joke, isn't it? Well, I don't find him funny. All I find is my dog going crazy at this point over here. And I don't know who whines worse. Because I'm trying to find a comparison between my dog and everybody else these days. At least the whining of my dog, at least I can try figuring the shit out. But everybody else, they got their own major malfunction. Do we want the late night comics gone? The networks are still trying to debate that issue because of contracts that the comics have with their networks. Networks don't want to keep their jobs, keep their networks running because that's what pays the shareholders and not just the CEO. It's bad enough when you see a college system trying to salvage its research grants by paying fealty to a tyrant in the executive branch that we voted in November 2024, who's now threatening more just one person. He wants to put in a lot of people under the weaponization of the FBI and Department of Justice. The same assholes that kept saying that the Democrats were doing in the last election when Biden was in office. That the Department of Justice, FBI, every other intelligence agency was going crazy at this point, trying to find all the criminal activity they can on the Trumplicants, and then blame the Democrats for it. Well, now they're doing the same damn game right now, even though they're in office. But they're weaponizing. So is Congress. Same Congress who blamed that on the Democrats, but now they're reversing the roles. They're demonstrating it, and they're not saying it. Because they just want to be assholes. And when one particular file comes out that may be damaging to the old Trumplicant, actually to the old gas bag or garbage bag, however I want to view the guy, he spouts up so much garbage and crap these days. He'd give waste management business on a constant basis. All the trash he puts into their bins. All the trash he could put into the bins. But still. And we voted this shit in. See, I'm not letting the public off on this one. We voted them in. We voted all this chaos and confusion. Hope you like it. Because you're the ones that caused this shit in the first place. Now, what are you going to do about it? There have been rumors, there have been stories about some people trying to take some action against the government. Was that it? Was that enough? Will there be any more? Am I encouraging you, or am I just stating the obvious? Protesting and trying to push and prod the useless government people because they still want to keep their damn jobs, but they want to keep Trump off their back. Needless to say that they're going to be losing things if they have their states gerrymandered so much that they're going to keep the Trumplicants in office. Then what happens? What's the people going to do? What are they supposed to do? I could get back over to the stories concerning about weaponization of the government going against people left and right, and they are. It doesn't matter if you're in politics. It doesn't matter if you're in Hollywood. It doesn't matter if you're just a person off the street coming after because they can. What do we do? What do you do? I can hear all the gas coming out of the people. Holman's one of them. He just wants to get rid of illegals. He's been in the business far too long. Anybody else he sees on the street is illegal. Probably even white. But if he's white, he's racist. Because he's not going after white people. About hell. If he does go after white people, if he goes after black people, he's still racist because he leaves white people alone. We're supposed to be allowing good people to come into the country. That's why if they're from apartheid or that kind of thinking, they're good people, right? More race, more hatred. That works out for the deputy chief of staff of garbage in the executive branch. Of course, we have press secretaries still feeding us crap left and right, and the press is still trying to figure out what's the real truth. They're from the gas bagging or Department of National Intelligence. Well, there's contradiction. Nationality and intelligence. Is there any kind of anything meaning something in there? No, she wants to have people arrested too, but she doesn't have the power. She's not law enforcement. Nor is she part of the Department of Justice. But they're trying to put the intelligence community into the Department of Justice so they can do their investigations. Why do you think we got an AI program sponsored by several companies out there building up these AI forums? It's not just for fun. Data brokering. Get everything on a national database, as therefore not on one, or enough of them anyway. We got AI chat bots happening out there. We're supposed to get used to this shit. Easy does it, mama. Easy does it. Come on. Yeah, AI chat bots. Don't you love those assholes? Been out there for nearly a decade or more. Simple programs, huh? But get more complicated. The more information they glean off the internet, they're not that smart because they can't make the connections. Oh, they can make connection over here, connection over there if there was actually a word over here, but it doesn't learn. It doesn't learn. Unlike human beings, we're supposed to learn stuff, except we happen to turn into a chatbot ourselves. We don't learn because we don't want to learn. We're too damn lazy about it. We don't study. We have somebody else feed us the crap and we think we're satisfied with that? Is that what happens? The dog wants to play. She wants to be a pain in the ass. But then again, the government's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. The reason why I don't go off all that much and talk about what everyone else is talking about because I want to keep my damn sanity, whatever's left of it, and my own peace of mind. But then again, me going off insane on people left and right, is that going to help people? That's why I don't go thermonuclear like I've seen everybody else. Because hell, I don't want to get a stroke on that kind of crap. I've already seen too much of it. Or anybody else stroking up because, or actually stressing out and having cardiacs because of the pressure that they put on their own body. And I'm already putting enough pressure on my body as it is. And I don't like dealing with the damn politics. Well, we got the politics, so I have to deal with this shit. You want to talk about more depression or stress? Like I've said before in my other logs, fine. Stress of taking care of a dog is stressful enough as it is. Trying to compete courses online, well, that shouldn't be that stressed. I'd welcome a trip over to a school and sit down in the classroom and listen to the teacher. Try to get as much information and then pester the crap out of them for information more. Listening to the students struggle with a topic. And if it's something I can figure out, fine. But if it isn't, I'll just sit back and learn and just listen. Go over the damn notes and pester the teacher. No problem with that one. No, I'll just have politics screw over, let's see, my educational future at this point over here. If I decided to go for a 4-year, I may or may not qualify. We'll see what happens on that one. Also, depending upon the biological carcass I'm still carrying around, whether or not if I'm going to kill myself yet or not by either stroking out, having a heart attack, or something else will be happening worse to me. Maybe cancer will do that. I try to sound flippant at this point, but I'm sounding like, okay, fine. What else in my genetic family line is going to kill me at this point? If I happen to mention self-extinction, self-destruction, if I happen to mention about self and then destroying my life, one way or another, Will that be flagging the zeros and ones? Will that be flagging the search engines or anybody else for that matter? Will it be freaking people out that I managed to say something about I am going to do something dastardly with my life and bite me world? Somewhere in there, zeros and ones to figure it out, put up a flag and say, you can't say that. If I was getting monetized, maybe. But if I actually did wanted to say, I want to kill myself here and now, what will the zeros and ones do? What will the public do? What are they supposed to do? Because I don't know. All I know is I've happened to say anything similar to that effect to a therapist and not do the what if or hypothetical. Just say, point out, I've had it with this world. I'm going to take myself out, and there's nothing you can do to stop me about that one. So, nice knowing you. Next thing I know, within an hour or less, I'll be getting this, but not as lightly. I'll be getting the door thumped, and the doorbell's rung, and people yelling at me. And they'll be the ones wearing a uniform with a badge on it, coming from a law enforcement agency. They're not coming out with the butterfly nets. They're coming out to see if I'm going to be alive or not, and they're ready to kick the door in. They have questionnaires on my insurance that if I happen to answer it the wrong way, I'm going to get somebody flagged to do a phone call just to see if I'm going to be alive or not. Or if I'm willing enough to just say, screw it, I'm ending my life. What are you going to do? Oh, they'll do something, all right. They'll have people sent over here to scare the crap out of me with the law enforcement, with the badges and the guns and the uniforms, with a serious attitude. Whether they yank my ass out of here, throw it somewhere else, and say, okay, he's crazy. 5150. Let's hold him for a 72 lockup. Meaning at this point, I get a 72-hour vacation with nut jobs, trying to see if I'm going to be sane enough. They won't give me a change of clothing except put me through hospital pajamas or something like that, just to make sure I'm going to be okay. But they're not going to give me a replacement clothing. That's for damn sure. I got my own work clothing, so screw it. If that happens, I'm going to have to start packing up a clothing bag and having it ziplocked like crazy and available right at the front door. Because if I happen to go for a 72 hold, at least I want to make sure that I'm packed up for this crap. Now you might ask me, have I been feeling this way? Gee, I don't know. I don't recall. Of course, I could go through the videotapes and audio tapes. It'll take them hours, days, years to go through this shit. To look for the recent stuff to see whether or not I've been despondent enough that I actually want to do some serious harm. But for me, making a kind of a joke about this damn situation, is it real or do I actually mean it? See, I don't make light of death. There's nothing humorous for me about it. I am reminded on a constant basis, whether I like it or not, some scars don't heal. About some actions trying to save my ass at the age of 4 years old, and I've been dead 3 times on an operating table. But I've also been in a car accident, nose busted up in a fall. I've had a tire dropped on my face, damn near got killed. Almost got killed by diseases before the heart operation happened. And almost got killed by antibiotics. So yeah, I'm familiar with the term of being close to death, and not to mention not liking it, and then regretting the crap out of being alive. A lot of anger and hostility towards the medical establishment, trying to save my ugly ass, all throughout my life, and I still curse at these guys because of the pain they put me through, just to keep me alive. Meanwhile, I'm killing myself in the process of not going to them. They keep my body in check, and now I have to be poked, prodded, pilled up, lotioned, notioned, stabbed, jabbed, tested, shocked, anything else you want to do to me, just to keep my mortal carcass alive and my mental status out of whack. But shit, we got pills and lotions, notions, potions for that one, don't we? Let's get you back out of ways. Okay, fine. I'll just make a funny face and a funny physical gesture that I'm fine. But if I happen to do one particular gesture at the situation, I'm considered politically incorrect. I did that a long time ago. My mother is still wanting my attention in the bedroom because it's dark. She can't stand it. She wants me out of here. Well, all she's got to do is just walk it out. Anyway, this is my life I'm living right now. And you'll probably detect I've got a lot of anger towards a lot of people. Yeah, probably. But Trump is someone I can't control. He's a force of nature right now that I'd like to see dissipated, but I can't. I got to deal with him on a 24/7 cycle on a constant basis. Everybody else is having conniption fits, and they're yelling, screaming, and freaking out and having a conniption fit. So that's all I see is on the tubes and also on screens. I could turn off the screens, I could turn off the computer, turn off the news, and be totally isolated. But that is the constant. That is real. That's here and now. And she will continue because she wants my attention into the bedroom again, where she thinks she's safe at. Because out here it's not safe for her. And she's struggling. Give me a minute. I'm going to put you on pause. There we are again. Dealing with Madam Psychotic. 20-year-old nervous Nellie, blind, deaf, not barely enough crippled, but she still gets around. And she's tired, she's stressed, she's freaking, and she's having conniption fits. And there's been suggestions I could put her under. I'm not putting her under. It's like, why don't you tell that to your family members that you can't stand them, so you want to put them under? She's not there yet. I'm not there yet. So that being said on that one, this is my reality check. This is my reality check. And that's all I'm going to say. That being said.